2023 has earmarked several key interventions on how to improve the living conditions of everyday South Africans. Newzroom Afrika's Tumaole Mohlaoli will now look at how those tasked with implementing the announced plans to communities. The local government level are responding to that speech. A very good afternoon to you, Tumaole. No doubt this will be what? You don't even know whether it's going to be a difficult task anymore because it's proven to be difficult for the past 7 years.
It's certainly proved to be very, very difficult, but there is a new leadership and a new broom to sweep clean, especially specifically here in the Ngwathe Local Municipality. And that's where you find us. We are joined now, of course, by the mayor, the executive mayor, who's now, of course, the chairperson of the Fezile Dabi District Municipality as well. This is, of course, Victoria De Beer. Victoria, in terms of the State of the Nation address, the key, priorities that have been identified by President Cyril Ramaphosa, key amongst them would be addressing the challenges of service delivery when it comes to power, when it comes to water, those basic services. You have been in a municipality that has struggled to, roll out those services. What are your plans in response to that particular Sona?
Thank you very much, Tumaole, for having me. In terms of the issue that the President has raised regarding load shedding and declaring the electricity as a disaster, one, what are the plans? What does that say for us as local municipalities? It means that we must also come up with ways of ensuring that we'll be able to supply our communities with electricity. One of the issues that, Tumaole, you know that we are one municipality that has been out there in the public in terms of struggling with providing our people with water and also having a consistency with the power supply. So with that said, it means that as a municipality, the steps that we've taken based from last time is that we are at the final stage of procuring the backup generator. But what we have also done, Tumaole, because we understand that having a backup generator is going to cost the municipality more in terms of the fuel, the diesel and so forth, we have started doing an assessment in ensuring that how do we go about the solar, if we use that. And one of the proposals that a councillor came to me with was the issue of the hydropower, because we do have as a municipality an old power station and our old station where we used to produce water. So we are saying that we'll have to look into those areas and go back to the old system if possible.
And one of the issues there, going back to the old system, a question is raised about your plans to recoup monies that were issued out for infrastructure that would be upgrading of water services and electricity services, as we saw in a previous visit here, that were not rolled out as they were supposed to. You championed that issue of recouping those funds. How is that process undergoing, and are you going to get the adequate support from the law enforcement agencies? What have been the conversations there?
What we have done as a municipality, we have went for the forensic investigation. So we are at that level where we have appointed the guys that will do the forensic investigation as a council resolution. But what keeps me also exciting is that we then took it to another level, which is we brought in provincial government. We have reported to the MEC of Kokta around the challenges that we have had, and a report has been submitted to him to see that how do we broaden the scope, provincial government working with local government in attending to this issue.
Do you believe that attending to this issue will finally give the residents here in your municipality the opportunity, especially young people and women specifically, the opportunity to go into what government is also, that was reflected in the State of the Nation, growing the economy, growing the local economy, and trying to get people to have access to funding, have access to job-creating opportunities? Without reliable water and power, this is not possible. But do you believe these initiatives, as stated in the State of the Nation address, and as you stated in terms of your own plans in response to that, will open the doors for people to earn a decent wage?
Tumaole, yes, we have been considering that in ensuring that how do we now start to empower our SMMEs, because basically while you're creating the jobs, if you empower SMMEs are able to hire more young people. So we are looking into that as a municipality in terms of how do we empower them. And I'm also excited because I'm going to announce the approach next week in terms of what is it that we are going to do for the 5 towns within Ngwathe municipality to help the youth and in terms of them growing. Because one thing that you're talking about, growing the economy, if you look into Ngwathe municipality, our economy can actually grow if there is stability of water supply and the electricity supply. And our economy can grow because each town that we have is very special. When you look into Paris, it's the issue of tourism. It's always busy, and it has really affected the town. The protest that has been happening, the water cuts, the power, it has affected the economy. But if we can bring stability in terms of those two, I believe that we can grow the economy. When you go to the other towns, it's mainly agriculture. So we will have to tap into that, but we need to bring stability in terms of the water and the electricity.
Mm. And in terms of the youth situation, we see that in the recent past we've had these service delivery protests. Many of them are spearheaded by young people, would seem. And is that a thing of the past now that you have earmarked these particular initiatives and interventions that you've spoken about? And how will you communicate? As it seems that the issue of communication or lack of communication has been a hindrance in the past. How will you then engage the community? And are the tensions that led to the unfortunate incident where your family home was razed to the ground a thing of the past now?
Tumaole, recently the uprisings was about to start again, and the unfortunate part that you are raising is that it's a lot of young people that's involved. We always get to a point where kids are unable to go to school, and which is very much unfortunate. And as a municipality, we must really look into that so that we don't have young people that are supposed to benefit from education on the streets, doing and busy closing the roads. We have to attend to that. But I strongly believe this initiative that I'm coming with is going to assist young people, because remember, if we don't have anything to do, if we don't keep ourselves busy, if we are not going to be part of the solution in our municipality, then it means there's no hope for us. So we had to do that reflection and say that, but let's bring hope so that we work together, because we cannot do it alone as a municipality. Therefore, hence we are focusing on the youth. And one of the issues that we have also discussed as the province in Lekgotla, where we were, Lekgotla spoke about we have to create 50,000 jobs for young people. So if Ngwathe municipality has to be the first municipality to take that initiative, then I would like to test that.
And of course, that will also depend on the buy-in of the private sector. What has been the relations with the private sector? And I use that word quite advisedly, because looking at the Ngwathe municipality, it is one that can be categorized largely as a semi-rural, if not rural. There's a lot of farming area, a lot of conference venues. The land seems to be the issue that is driving the economy here largely. What has been the intake or the input of some of your private sector partners?
Tumaole, the private sector has been doing some contributions in terms of facilities that we have. For instance, we have one beautiful state-of-the-art class clinic that was provided by a private sector. We've got recreational facilities that was taken to the township, which was brought by the private sector. But where I think that there's still more that we need to do, and that's been one of the issues, to say that how about we as a municipality do go to an investment summit and start to bring investors in and say, okay, this is Ngwathe municipality. This is what we have in terms of our assets. How can we change the situation so that we are able to create jobs? And we have started planning that. Sometimes around March, we'll be going out. What we are currently doing, we are trying to build our investment book so that you just don't go to people and say, this is the land, but you don't have an investment book. So that is what we are currently doing.
Right. And in terms of your political hat now, this particular district has been also struggling politically due to infighting in terms of the service delivery and who's driving it, etc. Politically, are you going to win the fight in terms of stabilizing this particular district and bringing that message and bringing the youth on board to try and move this particular district forward?
Tumaole, I believe that the new leadership that has been elected is bringing hope, in a sense that yes, there has been challenges, but we are open to the renewal and the unity program. We want everyone on board because we are leadership that understands that we can't do it alone. We need everyone on board. So those engagements are there.
No, thank you very much for your time there. We'll leave it there for now. That was, of course, the Mayor, Victoria De Beer, of Parbrace, and, of course, the Chair of the Ngwathe Local Municipality, District Municipality as well, Fesle Dabi. So we are now going to go directly to an ad break.